like a snowball rolling down the side of a snow-covered hill. It's growing like the sides of a fish that the man claimed broke his reel. It's growing. You can see that. It's imagery. You can see the lies of the man. I caught a fish this big when it was really this big. I got the opportunity to work with Ray Charles through my co-writer, Billy Osborne. Billy Osborne was a part of the great group LTD. And we've been writing together about 30 years. He started working with Mr. C, who I called Ray Charles Mr. C. And we decided, well, let's write a song for Mr. C. And we did. And I took it to Mr. C, and he loved it. I started in Mobile, Alabama, where I was born. At 17, I lied and said I was 18, right out of high school, and got a job in a club. I moved to Chicago and started singing with Jesse Jackson, and there was a civil rights movement called Operation Breadbasket. And I was one of 4 girls who traveled around the country with Jesse Jackson, getting black officials elected for the first time. So we did singing everywhere, meeting, man, I met everybody from Sammy Davis to Harry Belafonte to you name everybody, Quincy Jones, Sidney Poitier. All of these people would be at the meeting and hearing us sing on Saturdays. I started singing with a guy named Jerry Butler. And of course that was gold records and you name it, all the touring and the traveling and so forth. And the rest is part of that history too. And then I came out here to do Soul Train.
Why do stars fall down from the sky every time you walk by?
And I just said, this is it. I'm going to live here. And Jerry says, B, you can't just up and move to California. Like, yes, I can. I mean, it was just, I'll never forget the day. The limo driver had Bermuda shorts on. And I was like, I had a coat on because I just left, 15 degrees weather in Chicago. Jerry and I had our second gold record. And I was friends with Don Cornelius when he had a local show in Chicago. And I could go and sing there anytime I wanted to. Within months, he had a show in Los Angeles. So we got the call, Jerry and I got the call, and we want you guys to be some of the first people in my show, in my syndicated national show. Oh, great memories. We did that show with Ike and Tina Turner. They were the other people on the show that day. I worked with several people, but not too many because I'm real cautious about who I write. I'm real passionate about writing. So whoever I write with has to be somebody that's really compatible with me in their thought process and in their musical taste and in their spirit. And Billy just happened to be one of those people that it was so much fun writing with. But I began writing with Chuck Jackson. You want to hear a funny story? Chuck Jackson, who is Jesse Jackson's baby brother, and I started writing in Chicago. And that's how I got to meet Jerry Butler. Co-writing a song with Chuck, and Chuck takes the song to Jerry. Jerry likes the singer, and he likes the song. So that's how my career started with Jerry. So I'm on the road with Jerry months later, and I've got a hit song, and I'm just, 22-year-old with a hit song, and I'm just happy on the road. And I get a call from Chuck, and he says, Lily, Marvin and I are going to start writing together, and we want you to write with us. So we'll meet the 3 of us, and we'll be like Holland Dozier Holland, the great Motown producers, and we're going to work together. And I said, nah, I don't think so. And they said, but you gotta write with us. They said, we've got this young girl. Her name is Natalie Cole, and the 3 of us will be producing her and writing for her. I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. I turned down working with Natalie, although we've been friends for all those years. But yes, I turned that down. I was young. I had a hit record, and people were applauding when I walked on the stage. Duh. But there's nothing like writing a song and hearing somebody sing your song. I mean, to hear Prince and Aretha Franklin and Ray Charles, to hear my songs, that's beyond ecstasy. That's beyond enthusiastic. That's just crazy. I had it written. I'd already written it. And he was producing another girlfriend of mine, Mavis Staples. And Mavis called me one day and asked to send her some songs. So I sent songs to her. She didn't use them, but about a year later, she calls me and she was whispering. She says, Brent is in his office and he's reading your lyrics. And Brenda, he says you're one of the best writers that he knows. He wants you to send him more lyrics. I said, oh, okay. And she said, don't send the music. He wants to put music to your lyrics. No problem. So I did, and later he got in touch with me and said that he had recorded one of my songs, and he said, do you approve of this? He asked for my approval. I wouldn't have cared what it sounded like. It was Prince. But that turned out to be a double platinum record. It's called Somebody Somebody. I love working with Smokey. I was on the road with Smokey for a minute, and I sang on a lot of his albums. And he's fun. He's fun. It's been great working with all these masters who teach me to be better at my craft. Gladys called me several years ago, and she says, hey, old lady, you feel like coming out and let's having some fun on the road? You know, so that's how I worked that stint with her. And Diana, I worked with Diana Ross. It was the same kind of thing. It's like, yeah, you're not doing anything right now, come on. So that's kind of, because they are my peers, and I love working with them. But I never stay too long. Because I got a song to write, I got a play to write, I got stuff over here to do. Back then, I was having to hit records. So when you got records on the charts, you're easy to sell. And when you don't have records on the charts, you better have made an impression, a lasting impression on your fans, that they fall in love with you instead of the records per se. And I've always said this to young artists, have your audience fall in love with who you are instead of, and the records are great, yes, but be the personality that they want to come see, whether you got a hit record or not. Because I can still command a crowd just by being my crazy self. You know, and then when I sing the old songs, they, yeah. But a lot of the young kids don't even know the songs. But they will say, oh, wow, my grandmother loves you. You know? How about your mother? Yeah, my mother too. I know you guys weren't born when I was doing this. But it's still fun to see young people like my music. That's success to me. I don't have to be at the top of the charts. The thrill of doing what you love, hey, get some rent paid, I'm good. I wish that happiness for everybody. Find your passion, find whatever that is. And when you go for it, the universe will support you in it. It will hold you up and it will guide you through it. But you gotta know what you wanna do. And if you don't, ask. And it'll tell you, what do you really like to do? You guys really like doing what you're doing. So trust me, the success will happen because you're doing your purpose. Just follow that dream, man, live that dream.
Why do stars fall down from the sky every time?
I came home from a tour and I was doing kind of random pickup gigs, and I got hired to play drums at Fred Siegel's birthday party.
Do you know Fred is a good friend of mine?
There you go.
Fred Siegel. I used to do his parties, his Christmas parties.
No way.
Yeah.
Were you at this birthday party by chance? It was
I've been
in
at
Malibu?
several, of course.
It was in the Colony in Malibu. And so I bought all this stuff, hoping I could...
That wasn't at Don Sterling's house, was it?
Yes, it was.
I was there.
Oh, man. So that was me on drums.
Because you remember the neighbors started throwing things across the yard, and Don Sterling started throwing them back, and the noise and everything. It was crazy.
That was your entertainment for the night.
That's ironic that we were at that
I
party.
can't believe we were at that party.
Now is that a story for you? Is that a story for you?
It's the small music world, right? Wow. I love you that much more now. I was already completely enamored, but